Greetings YouTube! Isn't it a great day to be a Pokemon trading card game fan? Today I am looking at Lugia VSTAR. Yes, I know rotation is right here, and this is one of the last weekends you could legally play this deck before it kicks the proverbial bucket. But as part of an homage to it, and part as my build up for the channel, I want to go over it one last time. Let's quickly look at the flow of the deck, look at the big change I'm playing, how it holds up for this last week or two in this format, and then I'll close it out. So let's go. First off, let's look at the full deck list. Let's look at the full deck list here. This is the one I've been playing off of. Your usual line, nothing super crazy. 3 Lugia, 3 V-Star, etc., etc. Only one Minccino. Cinccino. If you're playing this, you know you're going against an Ursaluna. You should probably be playing 2-2. But I don't see our Archeops, so I'm not playing it that way. The one of Regigigas is how you're eating Dragapults, and my big difference play is the Drayton card. Look at the top 7 of your deck. You may reveal Pokemon and Trainer card you find there and put them into your hand. We'll look at this a little bit closer, but that is the big crazy inclusion that's been helping out my deck a lot. 2 research, 2 Iono, 2 bosses orders, 1 Jacq, etc., etc. We pretty much already know what this deck does. Lugia V-Stars 220, discard a Stadium, V-Star Archeops, get a supporter, attack with 120, shuffle it in, pushing active to the bench, 240, 120 plus 1 prize, utilizing the Legacy Energy just like Luminous would. There isn't a way to use Arm Press in this deck. Regigigas 330 against Terras. Discard, slow him down, 120 to the active, 120 to the bench, and then big hits with the Cinccino, super useful. Yes, you can hit more damage with Cinccino than the 350, but this 350 is from 4 attachments from Archeops, 1 in hand. It shouldn't be doing anything crazier than that. And then the big talk about the Lugia deck. Can you get your Archeops in the discard? Can you prevent yourself from bricking? Here's a secret, you can't. You will brick with this deck. It is a thing that happens. But I like the consistency Drayton adds. Obviously, double Archeops Ultra Ball to search your Lugia V-Star is your quintessential straightforward way to get Archeops into the discard pile. Sometimes it doesn't work out that way. An Ultra Ball in hand, play your Lumineon V to get your Jacq to get your double Archeops. I like it, use it a lot, that's why the Jacq's in here. And then the Drayton. The Drayton helps extend weird hands you have. I find that Drayton helps you grab items and stuff. If you need that, if you have the Archeops in hand, add that second Archeops and just need an Ultra Ball, Drayton can help you find that. Sometimes it helps you grab the Archeops or the Lugia V-Star with the Pokemon grab. But because this is Trainer, what it is, it can help you get the extra items you need instead of just refreshing your hand like Iono would. Whenever possible, you are relying on the more straightforward ways to get your Archeopses in the discard pile. But when it comes to those weird, not quite bricked, not quite ready to go hands, Drayton is the one I find breaks me out of those situations the most. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. That is the secret 3 of Drayton in this deck. Now, how is this deck handling the current format? Not terribly. I'll have to go see how it did at Stockholm, but the different decks I've been playing against, I haven't been having a terrible time with. Dragapult and Gardevoir are the 2 biggest decks I've been going up against. If you look here, I have a prize trade and a hint about how this Lugia does against these different decks. So for starters, Dragapult DX. Actually, almost 1-for-1 what Gardevoir does. They both start with small baby setups, seeing your Krylia and your Treepies, being able to boss something specific, or in a lot of cases, just bundling whatever forward Pokemon they have to the bench and getting 2 prizes with the Wellspring Ogerpon. It happens a lot. I still feel bad about it, but when I was playing against one of my buddies who brought Gardevoir EX to play, he had a Mimikyu in the active. I went first, got Lugia down, didn't have a great start. He started Buddy Buddy Poffin, TM Evolution for Krillia's, great start. And I stared at my hand and was able to piece together like a 1 Archeops in the discard pile, 1 bundle, push, 1 attach return, 2 energy from the Archeops, knocking out both Krillias, and was able to then push a Cinccino to knock out the Mimikyu for game, and just it was disgusting. And that was just super strong. This Wellspring Ogerpon is super strong into these set of setup decks. That doesn't always work, but your deck's doing what it's supposed to. Like their deck is doing what it's supposed to. It's a great start. The next strong thing your deck has, since you're shuffling that Legacy Energy back in, pulling up Iron Hands, both cases, Ardor always has babies you can take multiple prizes on, and Dragapult off of Agaist will always have a Dreepy or something around for you to get a knockout on. And for the final 2 prizes for both these decks, Jewel Breaker, easy way. Sometimes these are swapped, of course. You understand how prize mapping works, but to get that 2 prizes for game, Jewel Breaker, Regigigas with your 2/2 Archeops, phenomenal. And then Cinccino is your best way to knock out a Gardevoir if you don't play the 1/1 get knockouts game with other Gardevoir babies. Both these matchups, like it's cake. Like you're eating well with these 2 matchups, and they're still pretty high. Looking at the other 3 ones I included here that are high up on Limitless. Looking at Miraidon's rough. Just going to be straight with you. Miraidon, they swing first and harder, and you're weak to them, and that sucks. But if you swing first, and we're swapping prize trades here, Lugia 220 on Miraidon knockout, Tempest Dive again for 2 prizes, follow it up with the Bloodmoon, something for 240 like their Iron Hands. That's the best you got. It's unfavored, but it is a matchup that you can prize trade out of if you swing first. I'm off the top of my head, I'm forgetting why I'm putting Iron Hands EX here. Off the top of my head, I'm forgetting why I'm putting Iron Hands EX here, but I imagine that it's the Magnemite and other babies that Miraidon is using to move energy around with, that you could probably get a sneaky Iron Hands off on. Then looking at Gold Dingo, not slightly rougher. You can set up at the same pace as they can, like turn 2. You can do our bundle boss Wellspring Ogerpon on 2 of their babies for 2 prizes. Then you have a little bit of leeway. If they still have babies out, Iron Hands obviously is the way to go. To boss Iron Hands is the way to get the next 2 prizes. But if they're evolving, the best you have for single big knockouts is the Cinccinos, which here you're only playing one of, so you're playing, if you're seeing multiple Gold Dingos at your locals or wherever you play, I would play 2/2 line there, just like with our Archaladon. And then after that, your best bet is just pushing Lugias, hoping they don't one-shot you. And then same thing, following up with a slightly beefier Bloodmoon and trying to get knockouts that way. If they set up first and are playing more consistent, they beat you because it's hard for you to get multiple knockouts. But if you're set up slightly faster or on par, you can get your prizes through their babies, through your Iron Hands and Wellspring. What I think is the roughest matchup for you is Archaladon. You can't amp their basic Duraludon, but they do play Ninja and Relicanth right now, and maybe that's how you get 2 prizes that way. Then you try to get a knockout on a big Archaladon, a Cinccino. They do play Fez, so maybe you get the Fez knockout with a Tempest Dive Lugia, and then at that point you're just trying to 2-hit with the Lugia or Bloodmoon if you're not playing the 2/2 Cinccino. So that is a bit on the rougher side as well. But if we look at things as a whole, with Dragapult being 20% right now and Gardevoir being 15%, and then your Miraidon, Goldingo at 9 and 9, and Lugia 8 and Ursaluna at 6. You're going to hit more of the Dragon Ball Gardevoir matchups that I think you just win in, and less of these other rougher matchups, not to mention a Lugia mirror. So I want to leave this video here today. I didn't want to overdo it. I wanted to talk about this deck one last time before rotation hits, and I'm excited to start getting into post-rotation content. With that, here's my clever, witty YouTube outro. I'll see y'all next time.